Hi there, Purple here. So we're in a part of the yard you don't see very much. This is the walkway leading from my front yard to my backyard. And it's normally kind of a dreary, dark space. And so I've been trying over the years to find a way to brighten it up. So I've planted things like hostas down the side here, tried lily of the valley, just a few different shade-loving plants down low on the ground to try and just make it seem a little more inviting, because there's just really not a lot of sun down at ground level here. There's a fence. It's only, this space is only about 4 feet wide, and there's about a 4-foot fence on that side of me and the house on this side, and behind me is north. Big gate on the other side of you there, so it just doesn't get a lot of sun. So those things are nice down on the ground, but they really don't have the impact that I've been looking for. So this year I decided to try and build some planters that would bring the plants up where you can see there's sunshine here, and they should get morning sun, which would be nice. It gives me a little bit more choice in what I can plant, and should just look a little bit more inviting. So I just built these out of scrap wood from the dog house that we had that the dog didn't use, and I'm hoping that once there's some plants in them, they'll just have a little bit more cheery effect. And then at night it gets really dark down here. It's kind of like a little dark alleyway if anyone's coming through. So I'm going to show you a little something that I have to make it just hopefully look a little bit brighter and make it look a little warmer and inviting at night when guests or myself are moving through this area. So I'll show you that at the end once I get these all planted up. This is the last one, so I'm just going to show you. I've just lined it, because it's just plywood, I've lined it just with a plastic a bag from potting soil, and I've drilled holes down the middle because it actually only has a soil reservoir that's, I don't know, maybe 6 inches deep. And then I've drilled holes through the platform that I put in there, and so I've poked a hole through this plastic bag, and I've just stapled the bag up along the sides. So that should keep most of the water off the plywood, but allow the planter to drain as well. So let me get some soil and plants in here, and I'll show you what I'm putting in here. Okay, so this is the plants that I've chosen for these planters. These planters are equilateral triangles that are about 16 inches on each side. So that gives me a fair amount of planting space with that, like about 6 to, I think some of them might have been close to 8-inch depth in here. Gives me a pretty good space for the roots to spread out. There is some blocking in the corners, but it's not taking up too much space. So this is a Salpiglosis, or you might know it as painted tongue. This is a really pretty flowering plant. You can use it for cut flowers. I found last year it really attracted aphids. Last year was the first year I've really had a lot to do with aphids in my yard. Usually I have a plethora of ladybugs to take care of them, but it doesn't seem to be a lot around. So this plant likes full sun, but it'll take part shade, and since this should get mostly morning sun, it should still get at least 6 hours of sun here. And it should get about 2 feet high, so it'll really fill this in. And I've pinched it out. Last year they were a bit spindly, and I wasn't sure why, because I've always purchased them as potting plants until last year, and now I have seed that I've been growing them from seed. So I guess you need to pinch them out to get them to bush out more. So I've done that, so hopefully it'll fill in a little bit more on the sides and then get that height as well. Their flowers can range from purples to yellows to reds. There's a wide range of flowers. Most of mine were yellow last year. I saved the seeds, so I'm not sure what I'll get out of this, but it'll be fun to find out. Then I picked up a big tray of like 24 lobelia. When I was out at a box store the other day, they had these big trays. Now they're not labeled, so I'm not sure if it's a trailing or a mounding lobelia. I kind of think it's a trailing by the looks of things. But either way, it should kind of fill in the corner, and I have one on this corner and one on this corner, and they usually get some height on them even when they're trailing. Then I have some impatiens that I grew from seed. Now again, these are a more shade-loving plant, but they can take some part sun as well, so I think they'll do all right here. These are just from saved seed that I've had over the years. So I'm not sure the exact varieties of them. I tried to pick ones with little pink flowers because I think that'll look nice with the blue lobelia and anything that this shoots out, hopefully. These usually kind of mound up about 6 to 8 inches, so they should really fill in this space back here. And then I have a Waterfalls petunia. These I grew from seed this year. The Waterfalls petunias are a smaller flowered petunia, and it kind of is a big mounder that spreads. So they're supposed to get about 10 inches tall and wide, and then they can still spread out from there, I guess. The good thing about these is they're supposed to be a little bit more day neutral and cool weather loving. And this area here, being that it's only going to be about part sun, and you can see they're towards the front of the planter, so they might not even get as much sun as the rest, but hopefully they do. But they should still do all right in this space, I think. So I'm interested to see how they turn out. I grew these from seed. I have more that I'll put in other areas in the yard, and we'll find out how they do. So I'm going to pop these in this planter, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do to brighten this space up at night. And then to bring a little light to this space at night, I have these solar lights. So Quntis sent these out to me. You might remember they sent me some string lights, a couple of different sets earlier in the year, and they also sent me these solar lights. So they're a really nice solar light. They give kind of a speckled pattern. It'll be nice to have just kind of a nice light glow down here. And I thought if I put them kind of at this space on the planter boxes, maybe just a slight bit lower, just hopefully so the plants don't cover them. I don't know, is it better over? I think it'd look funny if they're not centered, so we'll put them here. Now, the ones facing this direction, I'm not sure how much sun they'll get, if it'll be enough, but I'm gonna put on this one, which is facing the gate, over here, and then the center one I'm going to put one on either side, so I'd put one down on this side as well, on that next one behind me, and then on the other one I'll just put one on this side of the planter. So I'm going to try and get them hung. They're really easy to hang, so you just need one screw and then they'll just slide in. So the package comes with screws and everything that you need. So if you were putting them, I'm not sure what you'd be putting them into outside where you usually use solar lights, that would need an anchor. They have the little plastic anchors if you need, and then the screws. They had instructions, though, I mean, there's solar lights, so. And there was 4 packed in this little tiny box. I was quite surprised. But yeah, so they're just little screws. And then the screws just fit. It's just a little spot where you would hook it in there, and then it'll slide down and hold it on. So I'm going to get these put on. There's also a button on the back for on off. So I'll get these screws in and then we can hang the lights up. I have these lights all on now, so I have 4 lights. So like I said, I have 2 pointing out towards the gate and 2 pointing towards the backyard. So I think that should make it just a little bit more welcoming, and then some nice bright flowers, and just hopefully just cheer this space up a little bit. So like I said, I just made these out of scrap wood. I'm not sure how long they'll last, but it'll definitely give me an idea of whether this works for me and if I like it like this, and whether I want to make an investment into some large pots that are taller for back here, or if I just find it too confining in this space. But thought it's worth a try to do this. So I can't wait to see these plants fill in, spill over, soften the edges of the pots a little bit. There's the garden helper. Hey, Buster, you had to try and get in? You're not in the shot. No, you're not in the shot. So I'll keep you updated as to how this works out. I'll get you some nighttime shots so you can see how the lights light up this space here. And if you're interested in these lights, they did send me out a coupon link as well, so you could check that out. I'll put it in the description down below. You can purchase them through Amazon. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this. My next video will be the big new planting bed that I had talked about creating about 2 weeks ago now, I think. I was hoping to get that done in a week, and I just didn't. It's been busy. It's been busy around here, and it just hasn't happened. And with all the rain, that's also slowed me down. But I'm finally ready to start getting some plants in the ground. Still not quite finished, but ready to get plants in the ground. So stay tuned if you want to see how that's coming together, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.